Que paso, my worldwide amigos and lovers of everything entertainment. My name is Jaime in Fuego, and this is Enfuegotainment. You may have seen me previously hosting heavy metal television and the horror show, but this is me forging my own way, doing my own thing, and covering all the raddest entertainment, the hottest entertainment with an edge, in fact. And I got a special guest with me today, Mr.
Jakup, his
Or as I call him, Jacoby Beef at times. That is my dude.
In frame.
Indeed, yeah, stay in that frame, dude. So we're basically just sitting around having fun talking about a terrific flick.
This building isn't a house. It's a research facility. And I want to talk to you about what I'm researching. You want to see something cool?
In Enfuegotainment, we cover the hottest entertainment with an edge, and it's not just horror and metal and the stuff you've seen me do before. We got to do some sci-fi, some fantasy, you know, comic book stuff, any type of stuff that really just compels me since, yeah, since I'm the showrunner and this is my gig. So, EX MACHINA is what we're going to be discussing today. It's Alex Garland's directorial debut. And Garland, he'd never directed anything before, but he's had stuff go before the lens countless times. I mean, you and I have both loved Sunshine, collaboration with Danny Boyle he did, 28 Days Later.
Also Danny Boyle.
Yep. Both two guys from Britain. They like doing these slightly futuristic, almost like a dystopian vibe at times.
The Black Water, just like that.
Or is it Black Water or Black Mirror?
Or Black Mirror, Black
yeah.
Mirror.
Black Mirror is... This film has a similar vibe to that. So it's a sci-fi, futuristic type approach, but it's obviously we're on Earth, and it's not even so much the not too distant future, right? It seems like this could be happening today, the topic that they're tackling in this film, EX MACHINA, and it's about artificial intelligence and just what having that type of robot or cybernetic being would be like.
Yeah, and like you said, I didn't know much about the movie going into it. Like, I just knew it was artificial intelligence. I didn't know if it was a different time or what the exact thing that was going down beyond that, and so that's what also.
And it's good to go in not knowing very much because, I mean, the trailers were nice and vague for the most part. I mean, they revealed a little bit, but thankfully they were kind of out of sight, out of mind by the time I got to seeing it. And it's good to go in not knowing much because the script has twists and turns. I mean, Garland's always been a great screenwriter, but he really saved an incredible piece for his directorial debut because you're really guessing throughout the entire film. And one thing that we do on Enfuegotainment here is we like to attack the good, the bad, and the ugly, but, you know, since I'm Jaime in Fuego, we got to do bueno, malo, y feo. And so the bueno, there was loads of bueno in this film, right? From, you know, the twists and turns that you mentioned to great performances too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
by the chick that looks like Natalie Portman, who I didn't even know who she was.
Yeah, she's a Swedish actress by the name of Alicia Vikander.
Who's gorgeous, yes. Really hot.
Well, she brought life to a cybernetic being, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she did a great job of that. And Oscar Isaac, who we're about to see do so many things. He was in A Most Violent Year.
It is a pleasure bot.
Awesomeo, are you a pleasure model? No, we're not. We're trying not to get too spoilerific here, but you know, there's probably a reason as this character. We'll toss some story at you real quick. There's Oscar Isaac, who kind of has short man syndrome in this film. Is this brilliant wonder kid who
I loved him though. I thought he was great.
He's a little over the top at times, but you know,
I don't know, man.
He was good. He was an eccentric nerd. You know, he starts this search engine that is being used by 95% of the population when the film takes place.
Genius, super genius.
And he owns this sprawling property, which is just insanely huge.
A trillionaire. He's got to be something like that.
Yeah, well, you know, .com money, man. But so this programmer from his company is chosen to come to his estate and work on testing this robot.
He wins a contest.
Allegedly wins a contest, but you know, there's a lot of uncertainty throughout, which is where the script is so good because it keeps you guessing the motives of all the characters, from the kid who's brought there to help him test it, kind of a kindred spirit.
It goes right into it, right when you're thinking about it. It hits it like I said before, never a dull moment at all in that movie.
Yeah. So lots of bueno. The cinematography of his place was tremendous, from you know the waterfalls to when he's first being helicoptered in, the nerd who joins Oscar Isaac's character.
Like Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Domhnall Gleeson, I believe that is his name. Yeah, he's a really esteemed Irish actor in his early 30s. Now he just crossed over, but he was in Deathly Hallows. He's collaborated before in Dread and another Alex Garland scripted film called Never Let Me Go. And so yeah, he's got a good track record, but his character, that he acted it so well, but I found him slightly sniveling as his motives start to really kind of present themselves. And once again, we're not trying to get too spoilerific with it, but I don't think you were necessarily supposed to like his character as much as Oscar Isaac's character.
But any of them, you kind of see a dark side to everything in it, and not it's like an anti-hero movie, like
in a lot of ways.
If there is a hero, really, I don't know. But
no, it's all the characters are shades of gray to some degree, which is really interesting about it. And it's only 4 people in this film, pretty much. Throughout the entire.
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't.
They had a lot to shoulder with their performances, and it takes really, top-notch thespians to be able to carry a film like that when there's just a few of you instead of an ensemble.
Interesting point to make, for sure.
Yeah, so there was lots of bueno. The bueno was abundant in this. You know how good a film is when you're having a tough time thinking about bad things to mention about it. This was one of them, but I mean, there was a few points where I thought Oscar Isaac's performance, while very enthusiastic and tenacious and over the top at times, and likable too, was just a bit much and kind of took away from the serious tone, especially in the third act that the film really started to get into. That's some of the only malo that I can think of, because lots of bueno, mucho bueno, but as far as the malo, not a lot. Can you think of anything that kind of detracted?
No, I love the movie completely, and totally unique and
do you have a name?
Original movie that I've seen in a long time. And
yeah, props to Alex Garland. Like I said, it saved the best for getting behind the lines himself.
With Her, the movie Her, like there's a little bit of a similarity.
Exploring similar themes.
Yeah. Kind of like the relationship interest in it. It was, a sex, or the sex was a girl, and it was kind of that whole deal with it. Like,
so yeah, there's a reason, like we said, why Oscar Isaac made a woman. He's a nerd, and that therefore he recruits another nerd because they're essentially trying to see how good this AI that he has in this robot is. It's real good, dude.
It's real good.
You've seen Weird Science. Well, we're talking way better than that, man. Okay.
When she gets the full body, it's real good.
Are you a pleasure? As we said earlier. So yeah, man, lots of mucho bueno, not too much malo. And now to cycle into the Feo, and this is probably where, disclaimer, we're getting into a little bit of spoiler territory here, but the Feo was definitely for me how the film climaxed and how it reached its finale, because just when you really thought, and back to the scripting and how good it was, just when you really thought that things were going to get beautiful, and when we were going to get some bonita, things got feo, things got ugly when you really thought they were going in a specific direction, which is more credit to Garland and his script. I guess, hey, since we gave you the spoiler disclaimer, it ends up being a lot more Terminator than Weird Science. That's for sure, man.
Very true.
So yeah, brilliantly scripted, acted. There's definitely some feo, but of the captivating variety. It's not the kind of ugly that stuck out like a sore thumb and that detracted from the film. It's what really made it cathartic and just really intense at times, But they balanced it out with some of the goofiness. Even if I thought the goofiness of Oscar Isaac's character was a bit much at times, it did possibly, as I think in hindsight now, act as a counterbalance.
Mundo for me. He was my favorite character.
It was a good calm before the storm. And since we're still in spoiler territory, in some ways I felt like he got the short end of the stick in some ways. Without revealing too much.
Yeah, no, he definitely did.
Lots of shades of gray, though.
Nothing analytical. Just how do you feel?
I feel that she's amazing.
Good.
So, great film. I guess, once again, Alex Garland, we're going to give you mucho props, dude. You did a tremendous job on this film. Ex Machina, your directorial debut was very captivating, and we look forward to seeing you do more in the future.
Buying it on Blu-ray.
That's right. In the words of John Campia, I'm going to buy this. So, shout out to you guys on AMC Movie Talk, because I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't inspired by seeing you guys starting in the garage and, building your way up and, it's been cool to see Phase 3. So shout out to Schnepp. You're my boy, Schnepp.
I love
You're my
Schnepp.
boy. That's damn right. So I, Jaime Enfuego, want to extend a grande gracias for tuning into Enfuegotainment here, our review of Ex Machina, written and directed by Alex Garland. Highly recommended, as we've said, and you can find me on various forms of social media. I'm on Twitter at Jaime Enfuego, Instagram, and Facebook as well. So let's follow, let's talk anything nerd-centric that you're down with, man, because that's what I'm all about, whether it's metal, horror, sci-fi in this case, you know, whatever, any type of captivating entertainment. I want to say gracias to my homie, Jakup.
Yep, and I'm around, you know, I'm on stuff.
You're on the Facebooks and whatnot.
Yep.
So, yeah, check out Jakup Hizzow. He's on there too. And I've been Jaime Enfuego once again. Gracias for tuning into Enfuegotainment. And until I see all of you next time, adios, peeps.